It is, it's 9:21. It's 9:21 at night. August 18th. Having contractions like every 4 minutes. She is going to be here tonight or tomorrow. I'm a little droopy. We are excited for you to come. And you are making your presence now whenever you feel like it, which is nice because you get that from me. Okay. Just checking in.
My name is Joanne. This is my father.
It is, I don't even know what time it is. It's like 9:30, 9:38 or something like that. Night. Contractions are getting worse. I got my baby's bed ready. I'm feeling like shit. Trying to move, sit up, sit back, but I didn't go through this shit in like 6 years, so. Okay.
All right, y'all. So while we head back to Florida, we're gonna talk about the story of Alita. How Alita, and I want Mom to tell y'all how that situation was, how it went, and the aftermath when the storm passed over. So Go ahead, love. Let them know how Alita got here. Alright, so August 19th.
You know, I sometimes forget that her birthday is in August because we've never had an August child, obviously. Okay.
Yeah, she had like an August baby.
Well, to start off with, she wasn't supposed to be born in August. She was supposed to be born in September. So she came a month early. What happened? Okay, so yeah, so she was supposed to be born in September. I have the paper too at home. But I was supposed to be shooting a real estate video because I was doing real estate at the time. And where were you? He wasn't home. I think he was with your grandma. I think you were with your grandma. And started getting these little cramps and stuff. And then they started adding up a little too quick. So I was like, let me just start writing this down. I couldn't focus on my video. I had all my notes ready. All I had to do was hit play. And I called my doctor and I was like, hey, this is going on. I did see something that it was like, maybe you're dehydrated, that's why your stomach's getting tight. So I literally drank like 5 bottles of water back to back, which was definitely not recommended because a lady died because she drank too much water at once and she like drowned inside, which was crazy. I had no idea about that. But so that happened, and then I called my doctor, and then she's like, okay, well those are contractions, and they're way too close together. You need to get to a hospital right now. So I was like, oh my god, I gotta get to a hospital right now. So I called him, told him what was going on. He came home, and then Ace was in school at the time. We sat on the couch. I was sitting on the blue couch. He was sitting on the brown couch. And he told me there's one thing I will never fucking forget. He's like, do you think you can, this is not the right time. This is not the right time. Do you think you can hold it in for a few more weeks?
Well, listen, man, there was a lot going on, man.
There was a lot going on.
Listen, let me say something. She was pregnant 9 months. Her feet was swollen.
7 months.
7 months. Oh, wow. 7 months. Bitch, my head was swollen. Because all the thinking you got to do. Like, you got to deal with a lot mentally. So she's like, hey, I think I'm going to have a baby early. And I'm thinking like...
A month early. So I was actually 8 months. I'm sorry, 8 months.
I need them little 30 days. I need to stack some coins up, man.
We were in a very,
You know what I'm saying? I was fucked up. We was fucked up, you know. And everybody got them dry spells, them dry seasons. But you know, that's when you learn the most, and you learn and you adjust. And but I ain't never been back.
That was always one of the hardest times. It was a tough time. It was a very tough time.
And then the baby, she you think she a crybaby now? When she got home, she hadn't raised a kid in so long because Ace was 6.
Yeah.
That every time the baby would cry, this girl would go to the kitchen, heat up some damn milk, do the whole shebang, sit out in the living room. I'm talking about the littlest cry. She get up, boom, every night. Until I said, why don't you pull your boob out and just feed the baby in the bed?
I was just like,
and then
yeah.
a light bulb went off. And I'm like, okay, she's dumb and all in 3. I'm just joking.
No, yeah, you know, you have that pregnancy brain.
Go ahead.
You have that pregnancy brain, and you like, the littlest things didn't make sense. And yeah, it was like, I had to wake up and pump, wake up and feed her, when all I had to do was, so I stopped pumping, I stopped doing all that and just fed her.
Yeah, she made me pay $300 for an expensive ass breast pump, electric pump.
I think it was like 2.
And she used that shit one time, didn't like it, put it up.
I did like it, but it was just so much time consuming, and I'm like, why? Because it's like, the milk can't be, if I'm walking around, I can't put the milk in the freezer, so I was like, I'll just breastfeed her. Like, it's not the lazy way, but it's just like, the only way that made sense, at least for me.
Plus, she was always with the baby, which meant that she didn't have to leave milk with nobody, unless it was me. But 9 times out of 10, she was always...
Yeah, I would always be gone maybe for like an hour.
Right.
Yeah.
You know,
so we got to the hospital. Right, yeah, we got to the hospital.
Got to the hospital, you know what I'm saying? Got her in. Contractions are...
You left.
I ain't get to that.
Oh.
Contractions are going crazy. And, you know, everything is, you know, pretty good. And then, what happened?
And then I had to go to a special unit where they have to, like, check you.
Shit.
It was me and, like, maybe, like, 4 or 5 other pregnant women literally just sitting there waiting because everybody thought they were having contractions. But I was the only one really having contractions because the lady told me, she said, I can tell that you look very uncomfortable. I'm like, yeah. So they put me back in the room, so I skipped a few of them. They put me back in the room because they saw me, I was pretty urgent. And it was actually a very uncomfortable situation because he had left with Ace to the beach, right?
Oh, wow, yeah, so what I did was, you know, Ace is the only kid at the time.
Yes.
You know, so you know that's funny because it was like our little thing together before his sister got here.
And you said that too over the phone.
It kind of was like our little...
I was the only child.
Yes, that was our last moment together, as far as him being just the only child. So then I let him do his thing. He didn't have no stuff. You probably thinking, why the fuck would you go to a beach if your wife is... Well, I had to kill some time with the little kid. I had to kill some time with my son, said little kid.
Yeah, because there was no kids allowed in that area.
Right. So, and he was fussy and he was annoyed. So I had to juggle Ace. Okay, and then I had to juggle a pregnant woman. And then I had to juggle my mental.
Oh yeah, and then
that shit got heavy.
And then you still had bills, and we were in a messed up place at the time, so you still had to think about
financially
bills.
Yeah, financially I was fucked up. I had $300 to my name, and those $300 were for bills.
Yes.
And I ended up breaking $100. I was broke. I ain't afraid to admit it. I was fucked up.
It was a tough time.
And she ended up having a baby. I ended up breaking the money to feed her, which she said that was the best sub sandwich she ever had in her life.
All I wanted to eat was a tuna sandwich from Subway because I couldn't eat tuna because if you're pregnant. But we ate that for like every day that I was in there because they would give you a card, which is crazy. They would give you a card to get food there for I think it was like $5-6. And we were so broke. I was like, I have to use this card. And I would wait something. You would get her for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I wouldn't eat breakfast. So when it was lunch, I would get 2, one for me and one for him. So we didn't have to pay for it because the hospital paid for it. But yeah, so I'm laying in the bed in that room. I haven't been put to my room yet. And I was laying there. We were checking my contractions and stuff. And then he kept coming. And then this was the most uncomfortable part. They had a male doctor come in, which made no sense to me, but he's a doctor. And he literally had to like put his hand in there to see like where the, you know, I guess. Sorry y'all, the camera overheated, so we have somewhere else. Maybe the AC's too high. This is more Frisco. So yeah, anyway, so then the doctor shoved his hand in there, did what he did, and they're like, yeah, she's having the baby today. I was just like, today? And then the nurse was just like, okay, we're going to transfer you to another room. They transferred me to another room. And there's a lot of misinformation going around because when I got to my room, I was just like, okay, I know I'm going to have her today. And I know it's like 4 weeks. I was 36 weeks. I just hit 36 weeks. So they're like, she's like a month ahead, a month before. And we're going to have to, they're like, as soon as you have her, she's going to go to the NICU. And, you know, I was just like, okay, well, how long is she going to be in the NICU? They were like, oh, maybe up to like 6 weeks, maybe a month.
She was in there for like a week.
She was in there for like a week. And the delivery process, shit. Well, I'm going to show you guys some pictures. A lot of pictures are very personal, so I'm definitely going to just not show every picture because you literally took pictures of everything. Like, my legs were like wide open and he's just like click, 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 click.
You gotta get it, man.
But the contractions were horrible. He came in and Ace had, my mom had Ace. He had to drop him off. And yeah, it was just a long time. What time did I have her? What time did I have her? I'll check in the pictures.
Like 3, 4 in the morning.
Yeah. I'm gonna put the pictures, and if I'm wrong all the time, I'll put it in there. But I'm pretty sure it was around that time. And the contractions were horrible. Your girl got no epidural for both kids, so you know. And I didn't get no C-section. They were all natural, so.
Shoot your ass with a bullet.
Hell no.
Eat that shit up. With a Band-Aid over it.
Yeah, so 2 kids and no epidural.
A lot of you niggas can't even bust the pimples on your face, let alone push a child out your ass. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I don't remember too much, but I do remember when I was having my last contraction, right? I told you I had to pee. Yeah, he took me to the bathroom and that was it.
I peed and I was just like, uh-oh. I can't control it because at one point it's like you can't control your muscle down there to where it's just like it's coming out. All you can do, you're naturally your body's just gonna like push because you can't.
Like a turd.
Okay, yeah. I guess it's like a turd. Yeah.
Everybody shit ain't like.
Sit down, Ace. So then yeah, I did a few pushes and. They're like, oh, you could do it, mama. You got it, mama. I want to be like, why don't you shut the fuck up and just give me a minute. Like, I don't, with nobody, when I'm trying to have my kids, don't talk to me. Don't say nothing. This is a mental thing. Don't say nothing. Don't even look at me. But he's over there like, click, 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 click. So I was like, calm down. And, yeah, and then she popped out. And I'm so glad, even though I did look a hot mess at the time, we did get some really nice pictures of just us 3. Because Ace was with my mom. And yeah, I literally held her for a few seconds. And you were recording her as soon as she got out, right? So I'll let him take over this one. Did she cry when you first came out? Or
She was a little whiny at first, but she was all right. You know, she was little and she already had hair. Both of these kids had hair when they came out, like a lot of it.
Yeah, but I didn't have any heartburn. But
right. So I mean, after that, you know, shit, they stitched mom up, and the baby went off to the NICU. This truck riding a little too close to me. He riding both lanes with this nice speedboat he got.
Should just give it, you know. Damn, that's a nice one. What's this?
What was I saying?
Okay, so yeah, so then right after I had her, they stitched me up, and we took a few pictures. I held her for like a minute or two.
And she was gone.
And they took her to the NICU, and he literally followed them to the NICU. And then when we get to the NICU, he's already been to the NICU, just looking at her and stuff like that, because I couldn't really leave because I was messed up. She went to the NICU, and then I went to the NICU too, in like a wheelchair, and we were trying to find the room, and he guided us to a room of another baby in there. So I was like, wait a minute, this is not my child. So we went to the actual correct room.
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking. There was a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? A lot going on. Yeah, I'm happy that my baby's here, but I'm still broke as hell. And babies are expensive, so it's a lot on my brain. She unloaded her pregnancy, but my pregnancy mentally
still there.
It's still there. It ain't unloaded yet.
Yeah.
So I'm just trying to go home. Like, I left the hospital that night, and she stayed with the baby.
Well, no, I was upstairs. I couldn't leave. So the baby actually spent the night by herself up there. Yeah. Oh yes, because they had school the next day.
So I had to go home. That's what happened. I had to go home and get Ace right for school. I was finna have his ass miss school, but you know, the baby was already asleep.
Yeah.
It wasn't like she was awake. She was knocked out. You know.
Yeah, and that's all she did was sleep.
That's it. She slept for hours.
This big. You guys are still gonna see a picture, but she had tubes all up her nose, and you know, her mouth was so little I couldn't even breastfeed her. They had to give her a little something through the bottle, and
yeah. Now this girl, man, she is a bully. She
eats everything.
If you raise your voice and say, hey, don't do that, she'll give you like that little bottom lip and just start crying, and then now you're finding yourself apologizing
for her putting something
for
in her mouth.
For her wrongdoing. So you're apologizing for her fuck up. Or just apologizing to make her feel better so she don't cry. She don't like to sleep with her dad at all. She like to sleep with only her mom. She don't like that. She'll give you a little hug, but don't hold me too long.
Yeah, like just here, I love you. I gotta go.
You gotta keep it moving. You know what I'm saying?
But she's a sweet girl. But definitely with him, he can't raise his voice too high.
At all.
At all. Like if he talks like that, he'll be like, stop. That's it. She will let it out.
I say, stop, pretty girl.
Exactly. Yeah. Yes. She's like, I'm already used to it.
And I see it. Like, you know, I'm saying I'm a pretty tough cat, but when it comes down to your children, I see what it meant by it hurts me more than it hurts them. Mm-hmm. You know, because you don't want to see your babies. You want to be the protector of your kids. So when you do something to them, yeah, you know, you're disciplining them, but you know, it's also cons that come with that.
Yeah, you gotta like sit with that for a little bit.
Yeah, it's cons, and that it does hurt me too. Is the con, you know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, so she was in NICU for like a week, and then
yeah, so after the week passed, I visit every day.
Yeah, he was there morning to evening, right?
Yeah, I came every day, and
so they had to get picked up.
Try to get the house organized best I could, and you can plan for things that don't just know that planning is better than not planning at all, but just know that planning don't mean it's gonna go your way. You know what I mean? But it's better to plan than not plan at all. Have a few different options. Cause I thought I had it all figured out. When she came home, that shit went downhill.
Everything.
You know, but I would say that it was a humbling experience. Now the story. Now you guys got the story.
Yeah, even though you see her nice and chunky and big, and this girl was
standing on my hand in the shorts.
Yeah, this girl was like, And you know what's crazy was when I was in the NICU, they were like, oh, she'll be here 4 to 6 weeks. Even though she was only there for like 7, she was only there for like 8 days max. And the lady was just like, a lot of parents like are still upstairs, or they just can't come in and stay all day with the baby. And they're like, that plays a huge part on their development, which is weird because they're like, they can sense if you're there, you know. So she's like, you being here, you're like always holding her and just so close, it actually speeded up the process. So that was definitely nice to hear. And it's just sad for a lot of situations, you know. I learned that if you have a child and you just can't take care of it, or you don't want it and you're ashamed, or they say you could drop it off at the hospital, they will ask you no questions, they will ask you nothing, and you can go about your day. Like, that's that. Don't ever feel ashamed of doing that, because a lot of people, so I think it was like every kid needs a parent, but not every parent needs a kid. Okay, so because there's a lot of people who are not meant to be parents, and if you get pregnant, you know, do what's right for the child, not for you. So that was very interesting to hear. They said that they get a few that literally leave them at the doorstep of the hospital and just vanish, and they just take the baby and go through the system and, you know, go from there. But it was sad to hear, because there was a lot of kids who were there for like 6 months, 8 months, you know, things like that, because the parent would do just all types of drugs that didn't help the baby. It actually hurt the baby way more, and the baby got addicted to that type of drug. And it's like, yeah, you would hear a lot of crying in the middle of the night, because these kids were from like moms who did like crack and heroin and all that type of stuff, and then the baby came out like addicted to it, like they needed it. So it was very, very sad. Yeah, but
well, damn, love, the way to...
It was interesting, and I think it should have been known, because a lot of people don't know that a child gets off of that. I mean, it affected me, so I was just like, wow, you gotta hold your kid a little closer, you know?
Yeah.
But
that's the story, y'all. Me to kind of get y'all a little game where you can, you know what I'm saying, maintain, you know.
Don't drop your kid off unless you can.
But yeah, that's the video of Ala coming, being born, and
she's a very smart girl. She is like,
now she's excelling. Now
absolutely.
she's super smart.
She's beyond where she needs to be with weight, with activities. She's now talking a little more, so she is.
She said, "Daddy."
Yes.
Mama.
Yeah, Miss Rachel definitely came in clutch though, but she definitely helps out too.
Oh yeah, Miss Rachel, a pioneer like MLK around this motherfucker.
I don't know about like MLK, but
pioneer though, you know. She definitely gonna change the homeschooling.
Oh, for sure.
Games all the way.
And it's not like, oh, you know, don't sit your kid down to watch TV all day, but it's like, she doesn't watch TV all day, but when she does watch it, she learns. Now she knows sign language. She knows how to say more. You can be like, you want something more? And she'll go like this. So it's like, we'll be like, oh, hi, and then she'll wave, and she's very smart. My child is very smart.
And she'll get that from her daddy.
Well, I graduated with I only did 3 years of high school, not 4, like some people. And I graduated with a 3.96 GPA. And that was only in 3 years, so, you know.
Okay, but let me go ahead and spoil your beans.
You don't have to. You don't have to.
Okay.
You don't have to kill
I ain't gonna do you. All right.
You ain't gotta kill it.